Yes, yes. Welcome to what this is Mono Hip Hop, and we out here in the forests. Out here chilling with the one and only ATI. What's good, my G?
What's up, homie?
Man, I can't believe you brought us all the way here, dog, just to capture the environment, connect with the, with nature and stuff, dog. Like, you always do it different, dog. Like all the time, like man, cause you had us out here looking for a stable camera, so
Yeah.
you said you can only do this if we take a walk. So let's rock and roll, my G.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been more than a pleasure to be on monoculture. I mean, it's been one of the interviews that I've wanted to do in such a long time.
Okay.
And I think nature is one of the most important elements
Yeah.
on Earth as one lives life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Hey. Hey.
Like I was saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was saying before we got
you
nicely
mentioned
interrupted.
nature.
Before we got nicely interrupted.
Yeah.
I was saying like nature is one of the most important things. You know, it like opens up my mind. Like, if I could, I'd just take a studio to the forest and make music.
For real.
From that kind of point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of music, AT, I want to take it to like a decade ago, like 10 years back. This is like 2007, 2006, when I first heard your first record,
Yeah.
Naradine Sang, and another track called Sero, if I'm not mistaken. There was
Saroa.
Yes. At the time, I want to know when you made those tracks, did the industry kind of like accept you for who you were at the time, as opposed to the later on years?
Well, I've always felt that
Was it a blow up at the time? Would you say like you blew up then, 06, or it was like an intro to the industry at the time? Because those tracks, it was strictly like raps, like you were proving your lyrical skill as a rapper. Or yeah, I'm AT, I'm a rapper, I can actually rap. You
Well,
know?
really, it wasn't more to do with lyrical skill
Okay.
or whatever, but it was about expression. I mean, with me, music is like some form of expression
Okay.
as opposed to a business. But I do praise and take note of the fact that it's business. It needs to generate income for it to keep going. But like the core of it all is the love for the music and to express myself,
Okay.
which is through the music. I think back at the time, a lot of people weren't used to people who could just literally come on stage and live what they say off of their music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it's quite taken me a lot of time for people to appreciate my art is because, I mean, when you try to stick to originality and innovation, it's always going to be hard because people are afraid of change.
Okay.
And the only thing that I've always taken note of is the fact that, change is something that's imminent. You cannot avoid it. It's either you embrace it
Yeah.
or it just diminishes your happiness. Yeah.
I like the fact that you mentioned change because I want to bring you to a point. At the time, the guys by they were in the industry at the time. It was so hard for them to like accept a new talent into the block.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get and establish. Would you say it was easy back then or it wasn't easy? Like, were they so receptive of the ATI brand when you first started?
Well, it's never been easy. Even now, it's not easy. You
Even
know what I'm
now,
saying? Even
come
now,
on,
yeah.
dog. Really?
I mean, life doesn't have a destination
Okay.
whereby you say, now I'm successful, now I've reached where I want to get.
Okay.
I mean, for the mere fact that there's going to be another tomorrow, you got to keep it coming. You gotta keep up with the times. I mean, you might need sugar today, you might not need sugar tomorrow, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, I mean, it's all about understanding what you need when you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I feel you.
Yeah.
So fast forward to was it 2009 when Skeleton dropped, dog?
Yeah.
Which I like to look at you as one of the kids who hit the block twice because there was that time of the Naradine Sang era,
Yeah.
and then there was Skeleton Days.
Yeah.
And then after that song blew up, there was another MC on the block. I don't know if he's an MC, but Spiza. Weren't you scared that this guy's like the new ATI and he looks something like you? Weren't you scared like, this guy's gonna take my bread now? Because you actually helped the guy like to be who he is right now. You check what I mean? So, weren't you scared at the time?
Well, I mean, with me, like I told you, it's all about expression, and it's never been about competing with anybody. Because I mean, if I'm to compete with anybody, then I'm gonna have trouble with the fact that I don't know how they done came up. I don't know what their circumstances are for why they do what they do,
Yeah.
how they do it, and the only way that I can ever stay happy and still following my passion and this love for music, I mean, the only way to do it is just to express myself, what I feel when I'm feeling it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? As
Alright.
how I feel it, you know, as opposed to a whole lot of stuff aligned towards competition in the music business. And I think a lot of people get lost in the realm of you know, trying to stay competitive, because I've seen a whole lot of artists lose who they are. And as far as, you know, in-depth substance, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a whole lot of people lose who they really are just out of trying to compete with the next man. I mean, you need to accept the fact that they're gonna be new kids that are gonna come up that have a better understanding of the same thing that you guys are doing, which is music. But all in all, it's all about self-expression. And the one thing that I know for a fact is the younger they are, you know, the higher the IQ and the more understanding of a lot of things, as opposed to what you understood at the same age that, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like in terms of like at the time, still like in 2009, like you said, accepting a new kid on the block,
Yeah.
which is something that you did when Spiza reached out to you. You made it very simple for him. I remember there was a track that you worked on him with Motswafere as well.
Yeah.
Kore, what I could see from you doing, contributing to the game, you are putting them on in a way, which is so rare to get from the OGs in the industry. Which is something which I feel like, I want to know if it's something that you embrace, or you feel like, okay, sharp, if somebody's got it, you be willing to work with them and actually help them to reach success in a way.
Well, it doesn't really take much in assisting other people, more especially in the music industry. When somebody's talented, and all they need is a little bit of, you know, exposure, and you can do that. I mean, why not? Plus, I feel like, you know, if you help a lot of people, you know, when you need help, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's but don't help because you want something in return. Just do it because, you know, it's either you appreciate the art and you feel like people gotta check this out, like I would do if I heard a nice song and I wanted my friend to check it out. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the kind of formula that I see the whole thing having as well, you know? Yeah.
All right, this next question I want to ask you is, it has to do with like looking at the fact that, you know, you worked with like a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially producers from Ramsey to, I don't know if you worked with Cali Beats.
Yeah, Carly Beats.
Yes.
Yeah, I worked with Carly Beats as
and
well.
then there was a point where you worked with the Risk.
Yes.
And then there was a lot of new youngins that you worked with.
Yes,
So I want to
Sprite.
ask you, like, between loyalty and peace,
Yeah.
looking at Tore, nowadays people feel like you need to have like a base or somebody that you work with all the time.
Yeah.
For you, between loyalty and peace, which one would you rather have? Like, isn't like being loyal to a certain producer, or nah, I'm gonna work with Ramsey for as long as I can, or I'm gonna work with whoever for as long as I can, or rather, would you rather be at peace with them and just keep working with different people? Because for me, from my observation, it feels like after you were done with Samamang, you kind of like moved on to somebody else. Like, okay, sharp, I'm gonna work with this guy. Now that I'm done with him, let me go look for greener pastures elsewhere. Was it the case? And between peace and loyalty, which one would you rather have?
Well, with me, man, it's loyalty is something that is always questionable. You know what I'm saying? And my definition of loyalty might not be the same as what I think I'm giving off as loyalty to who I'm trying to be loyal towards. You know what I'm saying? So I never really put much thought into it. I'm all about just keeping the peace for progression to take place. And like I told you, music for me is about self-expression. And if I feel like a certain producer can fully understand what I want to express, I'll work with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about being constricted or being boarded towards a certain line of music or just a particular producer just so to keep up with trying to seem as if I'm loyal.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay.
Loyalty cannot be spoken; it can only be felt. You know what I'm saying? And it's beyond music. It's beyond music. Loyalty should come before even the business of anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. I mean, that's why. I mean, I still talk to Risk. I still talk to Ramsey,
Oh,
whether he's
okay.
producing for me or not. Because I mean, the fundamental bring together for us was friendship at the end of the day. Yeah.
I know, I feel you. I like that. The fact
Yeah.
that you at least at peace with everyone. Now, in terms of like when ATI blew up, with the times of now what's up with Skeleton and them, when you first like, you know, actually got to be like recognized throughout the whole of BW,
Yeah.
you had this image that you had. I want to know, was it like something that you thought of, or there were people who were with you, who were helping you to craft the brand? Like, yo, no, look like this in public, or do this, or do that. Like, you know, those dances that you used to do with the leg, like so
Oh, yeah.
on stage and stuff. Is it something that you thought of by yourself, or you had people you were working with to like actually build the brand?
Well, like you said, like in Botswana, our music industry is quite minute as compared
Ish,
to
man, yeah.
you know, our neighbors, for example, South Africa.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, with me, it was all about like I've been gifted with what we call sheer creativity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was all about, you know, making use of the little opportunities that we have in Botswana. You know what I'm saying? And I did not let the fact that our music industry is small try to maybe channel how I was supposed to think or how creative I could be. You know what I'm saying? It was all about, if I can think it, I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the things I do myself. You know what I'm saying? The only assistance maybe that I might reach out for would be that of which is financial or whatever. But however, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, the core of it all is ATI just trying to put it together, because I think a lot of people don't understand what I try to achieve, because a lot of people that I've worked with,
Yeah.
this is where we usually have a fallout.
Yeah.
More especially when it calls for change. Like when I want to do something different as opposed to what's somewhat of a guaranteed way towards recognition from people, I'd rather desist from that.
Yeah, yeah.
From what people might see as the trend, or what might seem as if, you know, if you do, you will definitely be successful.
Yeah.
I want to create something different. That's where I usually have a fallout with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So with me, it was all about think it and do it. A plan is something that you come after, like you come up with at a later stage.
Yeah.
However, initially it's all about when you feel it, you do it. You know what I'm saying? I got on stage one time. I didn't even have any plan of what I was gonna do on stage, but all I wanted to achieve was to become like a group of so many people,
Yeah.
just in one. You know, fill up the space with
Yeah.
just myself. You know
I
what
like
I'm saying? Yeah. All right, if you know.
You mentioned two keywords that I really like. You mentioned being different and
Yeah.
and then people that you had a fallout with.
Yeah.
One. So I want to know, like, how did you like manage to like sustain the brand throughout the years? Because like I feel like you had like too many fallouts with like a lot of people. You landed in the hot soup, like in so many too much controversy in a way. How did you keep it together? Like even state of mind, like, ish man, how do I face the people outside and how they gonna look at me? How did you deal with it, dog?
Quite frankly, I don't care what anybody has to think about ATI. I live my life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For as long as I offend nobody, for as long as I don't make it difficult for anybody to exist, I do my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've never really been bothered. I've never been bothered. But the only time I had been bothered was when maybe it affects my mother in a way that
Okay.
she can't comprehend it the way I comprehend it.
Okay.
But one thing that I acknowledge is people love thinking in a particular similar type of way, and I've never been of such. I think my own way, and I've never let either principles or norms or morality try to determine how I'm going to do whatever I want to do. For as long as if I hurt nobody, I insult nobody, I will do what I want to do. I mean, we're all trying to survive here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's real, dog.
Yeah.
I have to digest that. Ish, this guy can speak. Yo, fellas.
It's real.
Man, that's so real. So yeah, like ATI, man, I want to go back to the fallout part because I think there you were you were like elaborating on why you are different, you know, for as long as you don't hurt nobody. And I get that, and it's very loud and clear, Chief. So there's falling out with people that you worked with in your career, either management, and then there were times when we heard like, yo, ATI, people owe him cash and all the likes. Like, how did you deal with all of that, dog? Like, was it like I don't care state of mind, like, yo, as long as, you know, I gotta keep it moving, or you were some sort, in a way, you had somebody to talk to, like either a best friend or lady, or how did you keep it together? Because it was too much. There was one point where I felt like, man, wherever ATI is, I'm sure he's crying. This one right here, like when you were in court and all the likes, like how are you keeping it together, dog?
Well, I'm still in court.
Hey.
You know, it's been 4 years now.
Sucks.
We're now going on to the 5th year, still in court. I mean, I just appreciate life for what it is, man. I mean, if you don't have the power to change it, just undergo it. You know, just go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the reason why I've had so many challenges, or why my upcoming was kind of controversial, is because people don't want change. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And all of a sudden, you got this boy that is bothering nobody, but he's doing something that you like, and instead of appreciating it, you'd rather hate on it. And how do you counteract like his progression? By coming up with all these silly stories of this and that. Look, I'm no angel, huh? However, I can tell you, man, most of the things you hear on radio, TV, or newspapers ain't real. Holla at the brother, ask him what up, how he came up, how he grew up, how he's feeling, then maybe we can write a story. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, we all trying to survive, like I told you. The Voice needs a little money. Mirror needs a little money. They need something extra strong. Yeah.
So they created in a way.
I mean, here and there they do create. I mean, we all creative, by the way.
All right. Hey, man, my biggest highlight of your career, or my favorite moment in your career, was when you went to Big Brother, dog.
Oh,
you performed one of my favorite tracks. There's a quote in there that I really like so much. Real recognize real, man.
Yeah.
How was that time, man, when you went there to rap BW at the time? Like, how did they receive you in SA? Because I understand after you perform at the eviction party, then there's another party also. I'm not so sure. But, like, the presenter kept on mentioning something like that. How was the love in SA at the time?
Well, I mean, they appreciated. They appreciated the boy a whole lot.
Okay.
And just the same as the whole controversy of whether my energy is genuine or it's derived from drugs, it was still the same issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm the only person with a lot of energy, but I've seen a whole lot of athletes who can break records running so fast. I mean, just because I can get on stage and display the same amount of energy, all natural like that, why people should have a problem with that.
Yeah,
you know
you should feel like, yo.
I mean, and plus, I don't know if I'm the first person for people to see believing in himself or what, but all I know is I got to keep my head up and keep strong. I've had my highs and lows, and I appreciate them, and I'd like people to also appreciate what they can do and what they cannot do. Understand your competence.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm saying, because if you don't understand your strength and your weakness, all you're bound to do is just hate on another brother. Yeah, basically.
All right, there was this one time, man, like the guys that I work with, like Chrome and them, they'll tell me about your music, some of the references that you make in your music, mentioning people's names here and there. And it got me thinking, like, ATI sounds like, you know, there's somebody blocking him from reaching greater heights. How like, I don't know if I'm framing it well, but I'm trying not to mention names. I want to, like, where there are people in high places or people in the same music industry that don't want to see ATI, you know, at a certain, you know, authority, or working with a certain authority. Like, is it true, like, from what you said in the music, like, ish, dog, why though?
Yeah, like, you know, one asset that a lot of people cannot purchase is believing in yourself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you believe in yourself, it's like all access to everything.
Okay.
When you believe in yourself, you're able to become rich. When you believe in yourself, you're able to make a difference in people's lives. You're able to make other people happy. You're able to make people believe in themselves. Same asset that I'm applying to, that I talk of how it cannot be purchased. You know what I'm saying? Now, for other people, instead of embracing that or finding advantage as to how to better themselves
Mm-hmm.
from one person that believes in themselves, they would rather hate on that.
Mm-hmm.
And once a scenario like that occurs, we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You got the nigga that simply believes in himself, going through a whole lot of shit, a whole lot of this and that, that's so unnecessary. And that's one thing that I keep battling with. It's like, every time you try to make a move, it's like a thrust. However, I don't waste much of my time on that. I use a lot of my time on, how to inspire other people, how to think positively, and make good music, music that I can also enjoy. Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, man, ATI can answer, dog. Oh my
Yeah.
God.